What the hell was that? I watched the Chainsaw Man movie as a non-anime fan, and I don't know what I just witnessed. I'm still having trouble reconciling what I just watched. My first introduction to anything Chainsaw Man related is when my friend sat down with me at his house and made me watch the first 3 episodes of the Chainsaw Man anime show. It was like some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen as a non-anime fan, someone who's alien to this entire genre. I was like, what the hell is this? Not only do you have one of the weirdest main characters, protagonists ever, but the devils, this whole lore is insanity. These creatures that manifest out of our primal fears, that their power is correlated to your fear, how much people fear them. So concepts like public speaking have their own devil. Guns have their own devil. Not only do concepts have their own devils, but objects have their own devils. Doll devils, darkness devils, falling devils, flamethrower devil, violence of chainsaw devil. It's crazy. And our main protagonist is a chainsaw devil, this human devil hybrid, this guy whose devil companion joined with him to save his life and is his heart, essentially. Transforms into this thing. This chainsaw-wielding demonic entity that cuts through other devils. He's also a horny simp. This dude might be one of the most down bad characters in fiction. He's a young guy with 0 experience with women and he's horny as hell, and all these hot women around him are like using his horniness against him to control him. Essentially, that's the story. His motivation is boobs. This is canon. I'm not bullshitting. His motivation to do good in the world and fight is boobs. A lot of people probably don't like the idea of a protagonist of a show being a simp. This is very different than the traditional stoic Chad, and he's used by her. She's basically hired him as a devil hunter. She controls him now, and she uses her sexy, voluptuous body and face to do it, and he falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I saw this shit. My friend sent me a graphic of this. I think is this from the anime or the manga? I don't even know. But when I saw this, I was like, what the hell? What are we doing here? Is this a psyop? Like, what is this shit? What is this show? What is this manga? Who the hell was this even made for? And in a world that, listen, everything's politicized right now, especially with Hollywood. A lot of young men hate the fact that Hollywood is emasculating some of their favorite male characters. In a world like this, I was like, is Chainsaw Man under a lot of scrutiny because of stuff like this in it, where a dude is getting CUCKED'd by a woman dominating? Like, is there a lot of like fan wars and controversy and politicization of the show? But no, not really, compared to what I thought. This show has a massive fan base. I asked my friends who were fans of this, and they're like, no, this is unanimously loved. People love the character of Denji. And it's very surprising to me, because I come from the Hollywood world where everyone's so up in arms about different things, right? It's just crazy. I see shit like this, like we gotta make a live-action movie of Chainsaw Man. By the way, this is horrible casting. Tom Holland and Margot Robbie, this is some of the shittest casting I've ever seen. And then I watched the Chainsaw Man movie after all that. And I have not finished... I'm being full honest, I have not finished the Chainsaw Man show. I stopped watching after the first few episodes. I was like, shit was getting too weird for me. But I watched it, because I was hearing, it's like peak cinema and all this shit, right? So, yes, do I need to watch the show to enjoy this as much as I could? Yes. Do I need to watch a show to know what's going on? Not really. I think the movie does a good enough job at making anyone who watches it kind of figure out what's going on. So I had limited knowledge, but enough to get through it. I knew about devils, I knew Denji's character, and I knew the basics of what was happening. On paper, this is a movie I should hate, because I liked it more than I should have. Even though the movie, I can see where certain things are going in the film itself when I'm watching it, and there's still some weird shit happening, and Denji's character is one of the weirdest I've ever seen, I still enjoyed it. This dude subverts the traditional action protagonist. He's not like the stoic Chad who's like rejecting women because he's on his journey, he's grinding, or that he falls in love with a woman down. It's not that at all. This dude is not your traditional protagonist. I think that's why people like him. He's very different. A lot of people are going to hate this dude. I know people who have a problem with Denji as the main character, this horny simp who literally can't get his mind off of women's boobs and stuff like that, and follows them everywhere he goes, and his own morals are thrown out the window because he's young, dumb, and just horny, right? But this dude is used and abused by women left and right. It's part of his story. It's part of the arc of his character. And that arc is not fully fulfilled in this film. It's like over the course of this show. But right now, he's a victim of women. That's what he is. And then you have this Reze chick who seems to like him. Seems to genuinely like him. She might be the first girl that Denji has a genuine connection to, because Miss Makima, the person who owns him right now, she's clearly using him. But maybe she actually likes him. Maybe not. Who knows? Can Denji trust her? What is going on here? This movie is literally Denji's love life for like 2 acts, and then the 3rd act happens, and then shit just goes crazy berserk, and all the action is at the 3rd act. So people might hate the pacing of this film. I don't think the first half of this movie is slow paced. I think the pacing's done well, but if you're expecting action all the way through, you might be disappointed by this. So the final fight of this movie is 30 minutes long. I'm not bullshitting. It's like the filmmaker said, we're saving everything for the 3rd act, and then we're just gonna let it go. We're gonna let the cards fly. Main villain of this movie is OP as fuck. The Bomb Devil is one of the most OP villains of all time, like I've ever seen. This thing is unstoppable. I at one point I'm like, how is the protagonist gonna win against this thing? Now on paper that might sound like a bad movie, but when you actually watch it, it's not a bad movie. It's actually pretty well done, and it has a very low-key kind of sad ending, tragic ending, when you take into account what actually goes down. And this is not a typical arc of growth where Denji learns to grow past to this need for boobs and grow past all these women. No, this is not that at all. In fact, Denji is a very cyclical and habitual character in this. People might have a problem with that, especially because this movie relies on having a season of a show continuing his arc. There's also a dream sequence in the film that will not be explained till the next season, right? There's a lot of plot threads in here that are continued to the next season. If you're just watching this as a solo movie, it won't work without the season 1 and season 2 plot threads. That's one of the biggest issues with the film. But it's made for Chainsaw Man fans, so who am I to say that it's the biggest detriment of this film? There's another huge problem with the movie, though, objectively, that I need to speak about, and that's where we get into spoilers. Okay, all the devils that are villains in the show are chasing Denji because they want his heart. They want the Chainsaw Man heart, the Chainsaw heart, and we don't know why. This is something that will probably get resolved in season 2. Again, another plot thread that has to be continued on, which is why, as a solo movie, this won't work, right? Now, Reze, this new love that's brought into his life, this girl that seems to like him, it's revealed she is a villain. Not only that, she's the Bomb Devil, one of the most powerful devils ever, that works for the Gun Devil, one of the most OP creatures ever in this, by the way. She's after his heart. We don't know why, and they battle over it. This is like the entire 3rd act, is them fighting. This is a twist I saw coming a mile away, and maybe the creators made it obvious, because it's very obvious that she likes him way too fast, early, and things are too easy for him. It's clear that there's no mystery that this is odd, right? But the thing is, this is like the first hour of the film. So this twist that you see coming a mile away happens like close to the 3rd act. Now, I think the scenes between them are well done, but you can see, the moment I saw it, I'm like, this has to be like a death trap. There's no way a chick is coming on to you that easy. And when she does go full demon mode, it's like one of the best highlights of the film, because she is literally one of the most powerful beings ever. She's killing people left and right. She's the Bomb Devil. She can turn anything to a bomb. She can explode anything. She can regenerate. Chainsaw Man can regenerate. But there's a scene where she grabs him, and then she starts bombing him until like he can't regenerate fast anymore, and she tries to grab his heart. Like, it's a pretty insane, crazy, well done action sequence. I gotta say, this is a beautiful looking movie. There's a lot of beautiful visuals in the Chainsaw Man movie. The way they play with colors, the way everything is drawn out, like it looks beautiful. And the final fight where he's fighting like a hurricane devil and that woman, like, it's insane. Like, an entire city gets fucking nuked because of it. And he has to take her and drown her underwater. When she's surrounded by water, her bombs don't work. And that's when he can kill her. But he decides to save her. And why? Well, one, he's a horny simp who actually fell for her, so he can't bring himself to kill her. But also, there's literally a key point to her character, and this is one of the biggest problems with the movie that I had. There's a huge plot point around her character and her origin story that's mentioned briefly in like a throwaway sentence of exposition, where after the devastation caused by the fight and after she's drowned, a dude who works with this company of people who are devil hunters tells one of the main characters she was like a human experiment of the Soviet Union. So they turned her into an experiment, and she had no choice but to be put into this as a hybrid. She was born into this shit. So the movie, with that one sentence, the movie now tries to get you to feel bad for her and feel some sympathy for her, and maybe see that there's some way she can be redeemed after all the shit she's done, nuking all these people, killing all these people. Redeeming a character like this is not impossible, but the way they did it, I felt was like, okay, it's just like a one sentence that we're saying at the very end. It feels a bit rushed. It feels like you could have developed that part of her a bit more. It comes out of nowhere. I don't know, maybe they hinted at it earlier in the movie, or maybe manga fans probably know more about it, but as someone who's just watching this film objectively as a solo thing, I was like, it just feels like something that was just thrown in there to make you feel bad for her. It's like a single statement of exposition. It's not enough. And then Denji, basically, he still wants to be with her. And he still wants to run away with her despite everything that's happened, which shows that he's throwing away morals and his mission to be with her. A lot of people might hate that. That's just what I mean by he doesn't really have an arc of growth. His arc is more of, can I find happiness and love in a woman who actually likes me? And it's revealed she might actually like him because she's just exactly like him. They're both hybrids. There's a kinship there. She sees something in him because she's going through the same shit. She was used and abused as well. Maybe she does like him, and she goes to meet him at the cafe to run away with him and start their life together, but she's killed by Makima, who needs Denji. Makima reveals she's a devil herself, who's also using Denji. So she takes away the one chance that Denji has for happiness so that she can enslave him with boobs. That's what it is. It's a sad ending too. It's because you do end up feeling bad for her, but you feel more bad for Denji because Denji is like a horny little boy. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. He's not mature at all, and the one chance he has for like some kind of normal life, it's destroyed because of Makima, the woman who's trying to control him. So it's a very interesting dynamic that they have. This Makima chick. I think Makima is a great villain. I would have loved to see the dynamic between them two and how she's controlling him, and because usually we don't see that in a lot of movies. We see the roles reversed when it comes to genders, right? So now we're seeing a little guy being used and abused by this predatory woman who needs him for some reason that will probably be explained in season 2. She's definitely a villain. Interesting, very, very interesting. Look at this shit, man. Pretty sure this is from the show. Holy crap! So he went from real love to a woman's just using his lust against him. It's an interesting dynamic, and I liked it a lot. A boy being used and abused by a woman/devil, and eventually he has to grow past his youthful love and horniness for her and become a man. I believe that's the arc Denji's going on in the course of the whole show. But as a solo movie, people might be disappointed by the fact that, what the hell, why is Denji so pathetic, blah, 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 all that. It's like we saw a middle third of that arc. And nothing more. Fans will love it. Newbies will either be weirded out to the point where they don't like it, or they'll be like me, where they were entertained enough and they liked it and they appreciated it because it's actually good quality entertainment. It's well done, it's well made. It's just, I'm missing out on more of an experience because I'm not a fan. He has a ridiculous, horny motivation, but it works for the potential arc he will have. I can see a lot of people rooting for Denji to get past his horniness and just say, fuck all these women, I'm gonna do my own thing, and, you know, becoming a man. I can see that happening later, and that's where all this buildup is getting to, and I think that's cool. I think the idea of that is cool. It's a very unique kind of protagonist that we don't see in movies nowadays. Interested in the lore and the villains, too. The Gun Devil, Makima. It's one of the better movies I've seen this year, for sure, and look, 2025 for me has not been that great. A lot of films that I wanted to see disappointed me, and a lot of films like this low-key interested me more than I thought they would. Alright, I gotta make a top 10 movie list too at the end of the year. We'll see. But I like Chainsaw Man more than I was expecting. It's one of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Denji's one of the weirdest protagonists I've ever seen. Some of the weirdest devil lore type shit. I've never seen stuff like this. But there's a lot of creativity in this that Hollywood doesn't have, and I can appreciate that. Alright? Fucking insane. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.